Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Susan Roberts right here in Washington, D.C. It's the most powerful storm of the year anywhere on the planet. Typhoon Soudelor has landed in southeast China's Fujian province, bringing strong winds and a rainfall forecast up to 30 centimeters. We haven't received any reports of casualties from the mainland, but 6 deaths are attributed to the storm in the Taiwan region. Its winds topped 200 kilometers per hour when it made landfall on the island. CCTV's Barnaby joins us from Taipei. Barnaby, it has been a day since the typhoon touched down on Taiwan. Are you seeing the extent of the damage?
Susan, I think we now have a fairly accurate picture of the extent of damage Typhoon Soudelor left here in Taiwan. It's not as destructive as one would imagine given the strength and the size of this typhoon, but there were a number of landslides, mudslides, flash floods. Millions of people were left without power on Saturday, and there was considerable damage to property, but I think as a whole, Taiwan was prepared for this one.
Taiwan has been bracing for it for days. It was right in the path of Typhoon Soudelor, the year's most powerful storm. Early morning Saturday, it made landfall on the island's eastern seaboard. And while considerably weaker, it unleashed winds that were strong enough to topple trees and tear down scaffolding around this unfinished stadium. It also dumped rains over the entire island, flooding plains and setting off landslides, mudslides, and flash floods. In New Taipei City, rescue workers had to pull some residents to safety as the river swelled and flooded the village.
4 years ago, this also happened here, so we have experience dealing with this kind of problem.
But it was water from the ocean that had claimed the first casualties of the typhoon, as it sent tall waves crashing into Taiwan's northeastern coastline.
A couple of days ago, 4 people were right there on that beach. A woman, her 2 little daughters, and the friend of the daughter. Now, Typhoon Soudelor was just approaching Taiwan back then, but huge waves came crashing to the beach and swept them to the sea. The mother and one of the daughters became the first casualties of the typhoon.
It was also this coastal town that bore the brunt of the typhoon, wind and rain unceasing, even as it was already heading out to the mainland.
Now, as out of the 4 people who were swept to the ocean, 1 actually survived, but unfortunately, the other daughter, 1 little girl, is still missing. Search and rescue workers say they have not given up hope. They will continue looking for this little girl, Susan.
Well, Barnaby, from what you've told us, it looks like a lot of the damage is in remote areas. You've given us a pretty good sense of the situation, but what do you expect from here on out in the coming days?
You know what, Susan? What amazes me about Taiwan is how fast they are recovering from this typhoon. As early as Saturday afternoon, here in Taipei, there were trucks and workers out on the streets clearing debris, and you saw that flash flood in my piece. We went to that place Saturday afternoon, and it was as if nothing had happened there. And during the evening, people were out celebrating Father's Day. It was Father's Day here in Taiwan on Saturday. Obviously, it will take a lot more time to clear debris in the mountain areas where landslides and mudslides occurred, but those clearing operations are very much underway as we speak, Susan.
Barnaby, nice to see you there in Taipei live for us. And